Hello, boys and girls. I'm off to the life coach's house tomorrow, and before I do, though, before I pack up the U-Haul with all the Nutella and rations of Jaime's Body Loop, it's the best. There, I said it. I said, you know what? You should do a video today. Their wisdom guy, and then I said, yes, you should, and so I'm going to. I did. I'm going to do, since it's getting close to the trade deadline, I'm going to do continuous trade deadline stuff for the next little while. The biggest fish out there right now would be Kane. And so this is this is something I like to call, where is Kane going? Um, to me, I looked up and down the lineups. I did my due diligence, as I like to say. I put in my full 42% and came up with two teams. But first one being the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Let me switch to them right now. There, Anaheim, right there. The Anaheim Mighty Ducks. They would need somebody like Kane big time. They have uh, Rick, Ricard Raquel, which actually he can play center just as well as he can left wing. Andrew Cogliano is your second line left winger. Just isn't going to cut it, boys and girls, in the playoffs. It's been their biggest problem. They thought that Nick Ritchie was going to be able to take over the reins, but so far he hasn't been able to, and he's now 22 years old. Now, this doesn't mean that he won't. He's still only 22 years old, but if they're going to make a run at the playoffs, I think they're going to have to upgrade at this position quite a bit. Now, from what I understand, what Buffalo is asking for is very high, but that doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. Now, that being said, what they said, is a roster player, a prospect, and a first. That's what seems to be the common thing. Now, Anaheim does have a first that they can give up. Uh, I believe in, this year's draft, they have a first-round draft pick, so that would be the first thing to go. Now, you have two choices, really. If you can give up Nick Ritchie, which would be a hefty price. If I'm going to give up Nick Ritchie, I'm not giving up any more. You're getting the first in Nick Ritchie, and that's it, because it's a rental, right? But a guy like Kane could put them over the top. He's a freaking awesome player, and they just might be able to bite on Nick Ritchie in a first. If I'm Buffalo, I'm probably going to take that. I would rather, though, go for this Marcus Peterson character. He was I think a fourth or fifth round draft pick, but he's lighting it up. He's 6'4", but he's only 167 pounds. But the guy's got moves. He can pass and he can skate like the wind. Give him time to bulk up. He's 21 already. That's a little bit concerning to be only 167 pounds and you're 21 years old. You have to look into whether he's going to be able to bulk up enough to play. He probably is not going to be a big bruiser by any stretch, but he's got a long reach. He can cover a lot of ground. He can skate well, and he's a damn good passer. I don't know. You don't know exactly. You don't know exactly where he's going to end up. He could be a 3-4 though, and you get that in a first round draft pick for Kane right now, when maybe, just maybe, you might be able to get a beeline prospect out of them like Nicholas Curtiles or, throw in Joseph Blandisi, or maybe Jacob Larson, somebody like that. If you can get a throw in on that, if I'm Buffalo, you should be happy with that. If they get more than that, that's awesome. Now, that being said, that's not a bad offer. The other team that I was looking at that I think there's only really two teams that are going to go for it. The other ones might be there to drive up the price for their other compatriots. That's what they do. You didn't know that? Some teams are not really interested in getting a player or not at all, but they keep on talking to them and giving them more options, looking like they're going to take the player, but really all they're doing is trying to drive up the price for the other team that's trying to get it, so they have to give up as much as possible to weaken their team. Yeah, that's what you do. So the other one is the St. Louis Blues, and I think this is going to be the team that gets it. Write this down, boys and girls. I think this is going to be the team. You've got you can offer up Ivan Barbashev, who has not really panned out the way they wanted. He's 22 years old. He hasn't really been able to show offense yet. But when I've watched him, he has the skill level. It's hard to put a finger on exactly what the problem is. At the very least, Barbashev is going to play. He isn't bad. He isn't a bad two-way player. Not wonderful. But he hasn't progressed like he should. So I don't know if you're going to get, like, if you're going to have to package a little more to get Kane. And I know he's only a 1 year and out player. Oh, by the way, the other thing was cap room. Anaheim had the cap room, especially if they gave up somebody like Richie to do that. So they can take Kane at what Kane's contract is, prorated to the amount of time left on the year. St. Louis, on the other hand, do not have cap room. So what they would likely have to do is they'd have to give up somebody like Berglund or what was the other player I was looking at? Is he injured right now? Berglund or Saboka. Both of them are making 3.85. Berglund is going to be is 29 and his contract runs out when he's 33. Berglund is a really good overall player. I wouldn't be unhappy to take them at 3.85, honestly. I think he adds a lot to your team in a lot of ways. However, you're going to have to give up more than that, because I'm doing you a favor pretty much by taking that contract in order for you to be able to fit Kane in under the cap. So either that, or you would go with Saboka, who is 3.5 for the next 3 years. So it depends on what else you throw in. So you take Berglund, go Barbashev maybe, and I don't know if they'd want to give up 2 roster players though. I think it would be Berglund, possibly Klim Kostin that they got in the first round last year. And how does their defense? And then you got Jake Wallman, Schmaltz, or Lindbaum. All of those guys are 22 to 24, progressing okay in the AHL, but I wouldn't say fantastically. Any one of them could probably play. I don't think they're going to. Jordan Schmaltz probably has the best chance out of all of them. If you're going to give up Schmaltz, you're probably not giving up. You're probably giving up Berglund, Schmaltz in your first. Now you offer Berglund, Schmaltz, and a first or a second, maybe something like that. I'm probably taking that over the Anaheim offer. So that's why I say, where is Kane going? I believe the St. Louis Blues. We'll see what happens. Anyways, boys and girls, that's my full 42%. That's all I have to give, and I got to get all packed up and ready to go to the life coach's house tomorrow. I'll say hi to you there when I do my picks and such. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, getting your Jaime's body, vat of Jaime's body lube and a Pearls of Wisdom necklace, and lots of love to you.